I left off leaving a mini podcast about getting a special notebook and pen that you can use as we start the year off rewriting our life and our goals and things we want to achieve. I think the best time to do it is at the end of summer. The end of summer is when schools start, a lot of changes, people coming back from vacation with renewed dreams and ambitions or places they've seen. It's a perfect time. It's better than New Year's Eve, actually, as far as making new resolutions for the year. The end of summer, beginning of September is the perfect time. What we're going to do, write out lists. A lot of people aren't very big on writing lists, but anybody will tell you, anybody who has been successful in their life, personal success, one thing they all have in common is they planned it out. In order to achieve these goals, you've got to plan it out, and you've got to make yourself personal lists. If you keep it in your mind, of course, you'll always think, I want to do that. One day I'm going to. So here is my method that I'm going to share with you. When you write everything out, don't be overwhelmed by how large the list is, because you're going to change it, track things from it, and add things to it as you go along through the year. Everything is in baby steps. This is just an outline of things that you would like to do during the year. And it may seem very overwhelming, but chances are you will get more than half of it done. You may want to start with scratch paper before you put it in your special notebook, the outline. So there are 4 major categories, and then there'll also be like small things under each category. Number 1 is health. Health is so neglected, sometimes partly due by your age. You know, you think you're at the time of your life where you're feeling invincible. Other times it's one of those things you don't want to think about because you don't like doctors or dentists or anything like that. But health is the number 1. Health, overall health and well-being, if you don't got it together, nothing else comes together. It's the biggest factor. And even if you do have illnesses and ailments, you would still put the health down, because your first priority is to take care of yourself. Take your medication, do your exercises, eat right. So under the health, there'll be subcategories under your health, and that would be your physical, your mental, and your spiritual health. All 3 of those will be going under the health section. The next major category is your responsibilities, and that's where you would put your household, your family. The next major category would be finances. And the 4th category will be your dreams and your new goals. With the dreams and new goals, you just write out everything you've ever wanted to do, ever, no matter how silly it is, okay? And you're making this list realistically, especially when it comes to your responsibilities. Put everything down. If you found out that you haven't been spending enough time with your children, you put that down. If you want to spend more time with other family members, put that down. Now, some may ask why I put finances almost toward the end of the list. I put finances down more towards the bottom of the list because, just from what I've learned in my life, money does not bring you happiness. It really, really doesn't. And to have a content, fulfilling life, at the end of your life, you're not thinking about your money. You know, that's the last thing you think about. You think about all the things that you should have done or could have done, or things that you've said or not said. This is why finances is on the 3rd, because when you're feeling positive and when you're having things going good in your life, as far as you have family, you have your health, finances, it just comes together. It comes together so naturally. But if you're totally focused on just finances in order to be happy, it never works. It just doesn't work at all. And right now we're on the subject of health, the first category. Now under this category we have physical well-being. This is the one that's kind of touchy for everybody. The first thing you've got to do is make sure you make lists to make appointments to be seen by a doctor, get a full physical, be seen by a dentist, get your eyes checked, and find out where you're at physically. This also would include mental health, but mental health I kind of put a little separate because of everybody's backgrounds are different. So if you come from abuse or need counseling, or maybe, you suffer from some type of mental illness a little bit. I don't know why they call it that. It's actually a lot of mental illnesses, some of them that are like as far as like depression and mood disorders, etc., also come from things that you've experienced in your life. So you got to make sure you take care of all of that. And if you don't have insurance and if that's your excuse not to be seen, you really can't use that as an excuse either, because there are free clinics, and I know it sucks sometimes, but you can be seen. Even a dentist, they have certain days where they will see patients that don't have money. You just call up, you tell them, I really need my teeth checked, I have no money, I have, you tell them your situation, and if that's the case, they will work with you. Eyeglasses, the same thing. Eyeglasses, I know that Lens Crafters, twice a year, they have one day where you come in and get free glasses. So you've got to make the effort to make these phone calls and get yourself checked and seen, and that should be your number one priority, just to see where you're at. For all you know, you may need high blood pressure medicine. You may need something, and you may be just fine, but you just got to make sure to check all that first. You could be short in iron, but those are the things you need to take care of. Under the physical health, you would also put down, this is where you would put down if you want to lose weight, if that's one thing that you've always wanted to do, but just can't. When you find out what your health situation status is, chances are then you can figure out your foods, because not everybody is the same. Some people can lose weight. Everybody's body is different, so you can always arrange your diet according to your body type. You put in there your exercises. It could be little exercises here and there. And chances are, if you're listening to a podcast right now, my podcast through the internet, or even through your iPads, you can also see something on YouTube with exercises. You can look up any kind of exercise and you can find it. So it could be chair exercises even, or from your bed. I went through this one thing where I had my shows about my bed exercises. This is before but if it wasn't for those bed exercises, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. So let's put it that way. The next one would be your spiritual. Under your spiritual, this is a big one. This is your inner you. This is your spiritual health. If your spiritual health is not in line with your mental and your physical health, you will feel chaos, you will feel confusion, stress. Stress will get to you. You may not be sleeping at night, and you need that peace. You need that inner calm. Everybody does. No matter what your faith is, you need to find that quiet place where you're alone with yourself, and you can pray, you can talk. Just have that time. And they would call it, I guess some people will call it meditating, but it doesn't have to be the guru kind of meditation. It's just a time where you just relax and breathe and just clear your mind. So that would be one of the ones that you could put in there also. And now we're going through of things that we're going to achieve during this year. And now we are on number 2, which is responsibilities. And under responsibilities, this is where you would put your household. And what I mean as far as household, keep in mind we're keeping finances separate. As far as your household is things that you need to clean, like your garage, your yard, things that you need to keep up, and break it down into monthly and weekly chores. Things that need to be done daily, weekly, and monthly. And you'll be breaking down those in priorities. Things that must be done, and things that you've been wanting to do but haven't done, you will also put those down as well. Other responsibilities are appointments that you must take your children to, or events that you must attend. If you belong to a church, you start seeing how you become kind of overwhelmed when things aren't organized just right. It almost seems like you have a million things to do but no time. Other responsibilities would be your car, having to have it washed, get tires checked. All right, so now we're going to move on to finances. Now the finances, this one is a pain, I understand. This is, a lot of people don't want to look at this. But be realistic. Go through all your papers and write out all your bills, all of them. Break them down to everything that you pay monthly as far as rent or mortgage, utilities, things that can't go without, that you must pay. If you're in debt for other things, write down everything you possibly can. And part of it, your finances, make sure to get a free printout of your credit report, to go over things, to see what is really there. Many times when you know your credit's not so good, you don't look at it. You kind of just let it live on its own until things drop off. But that is also dangerous. You want to clean it up as much as possible, and there are ways to do it on your own, so you would have to put that down as one of your to-do things, because you need to free yourself of all of that. This is just the way I live. I do not pay anything on credit. I pay everything up front with cash. Yes, I am, and I appear more broke than most people, but the reality is I'm not in debt. So the less debt you are living, the less stress you'll have, and the happier you will be also. It's hard to get used to. It's kind of like my philosophy is like, if I don't have the money for it, I just don't buy it. That's it. But some people must use credit, and because you have homes and things that you're obligated to, and of course those try to keep on track, try to figure out a way to pay everything off as quickly as possible. Always give more than the minimum, and that's the only way to get some of these things down. But I'll get more into it as I go on with other podcasts to break down these things. Right now we're just doing the list. And the last one is your dreams and new goals. Now this is the one where you brainstorm. You brainstorm on another scratch paper everything you've ever wanted to do. Everything. Take a trip, learn a language, go back to school, study something else, write more. Everything you've ever dreamed about that you really never had a chance to do because you have been working and you have been busy with other things. There are ways to do this. Even if you don't have a lot of money, there's always the library. If you can't go to school, you're putting down that you're going to study. You're going to study this subject, and you're going to go to the library and get out some books, and you're going to study. And you'll be putting time aside for that too. We just went through the outline of your goal list. Now, as you start weeding things in and out, you'll put this in your notebook nice and neat so that you'll have it all planned out. And once you have your list, on the next podcast, I will be going through how you set up your timeline and your time schedule. This is your basic outline for the list. I hope it helps, and let me know how you're doing. You can always email me or write me if you have any questions, and I can help you with it.